Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where true stories of love, betrayal, and the shadows people hide behind come to light. Tonight's story isn't just about a marriage falling apart. It's about what happens when honesty comes too late, and trust is shattered beyond repair. Let's begin. I was halfway through stirring my coffee when she said it. I don't think I can stay monogamous anymore. The spoon froze mid-swirling, clinking gently against the side of the mug. My hands felt suddenly weightless, like my body had registered the words before my brain had. What? Yes. Not angrily, not even loudly, just hollowly. Sarah sat across from me at the breakfast table, legs crossed, her hair tied in that lazy bun she always did when she didn't care to impress anyone. Except, apparently, now I wondered who she had been trying to impress lately. I said, she repeated, her eyes not quite meeting mine. I don't think I can stay monogamous. With you. With you. The words were a scalpel. We had been married for 8 years. 8 years of shared bills, shared laughter, fights over laundry left in the dryer, late-night binge-watching, planning for a family that never quite happened because she wasn't ready yet. 8 years of what I thought was partnership. Sarah, I said slowly, what are you telling me? That you don't want to be married? She sighed like I was the one being difficult. No, that's not what I said. I love you, Mark. Do. But I need more than this. I can't live the rest of my life pretending that one person is supposed to meet every need I have. I've been talking to someone about it. My stomach twisted. Talking. Her silence was an answer, and in that moment, I realized the conversation wasn't about hypotheticals. The weeks that followed were a blur of numbness. I would come home from work and find her on her phone, screen angled away, a faint smile ghosting her lips as she typed. She still slept beside me, still made me coffee in the morning, but the warmth was gone, like she was performing the shadow of a marriage, not living in one. I asked her 2 nights later, "Is there someone else?" She hesitated. Just enough. There's been people I've talked to. Nothing serious. Nothing serious. That's the kind of language you use when you dent your car in the grocery store parking lot. Not when you shatter the trust of a man who's built his life around you. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to demand names and places and dates. But instead I just nodded. Because I think a part of me already knew that whatever answer she gave wouldn't make me feel better. It would just make the picture sharper. 3 days later, the picture came into full focus. It was 11:37 p.m. I couldn't sleep. My laptop glowed faintly in the dark bedroom while Sarah slept beside me. Out of some blend of desperation and foolishness, I opened our shared tablet. I knew her passcode, it was the date of our wedding. I wish I didn't remember it so easily. The messages were there. Not one man. Maybe 3. I scrolled until I couldn't anymore. Pictures. Flirty jokes. Things she never said to me anymore. And then the message that broke something in me. I just wish Mark understood that monogamy isn't for everyone. I've tried to drop hints, but he's so conventional. I want passion, I want freedom. Not just the same couch, the same hands, the same bed every night. Closed the tablet. I stared at the ceiling for hours. And by morning, I wasn't the same man anymore. Sarah, I said the next evening, my voice steady in a way that surprised me. We need to talk. She looked up from her phone, wary. About what? I know. Her eyes widened, then narrowed. Know what? Don't. I raised a hand. Don't insult me by pretending. For a moment, the kitchen went dead silent except for the low hum of the refrigerator. She set her phone down slowly, as if the weight of it suddenly meant something. Mark. I was going to tell you. Were you? Yes. Before or after you invited them into our lives? Her lips trembled, and for a second I saw a flicker of something. Shame, maybe. Or just the discomfort of being caught. I didn't mean for it to get this far. You just what? Wanted the thrill. The attention. The fun without the consequences. Her eyes hardened. I wanted to feel alive again, Mark. You think you've been the perfect husband. We've been stagnant for years. I needed something. And you. Me. I laughed bitterly. What about me, Sarah? I've been here. Every night. Every morning. Waiting for the family you kept postponing. Waiting for a sign that you wanted this marriage as much as I did. She didn't answer. The days after that conversation were a slow-motion car crash. We lived in the same house, but we were ghosts to each other. I moved my things into the guest room. She stopped cooking. I stopped asking where she went after work. And then, because I'm apparently a glutton for pain, I started telling people. Not out of malice. Out of survival. I told my brother first. He didn't say much, just clenched his jaw and muttered, "You don't deserve that." Then I told her sister. Her reaction. A long, drawn-out sigh and a muttered, "I always wondered if she'd pull something like this." The more I told people, the more I realized how much I had been protecting her reputation at the expense of my own sanity. And the more I spoke, the lighter I felt, until Sarah found out. "You're telling everyone." She spat one night, storming into the living room where I was packing a box of my things. "I'm telling the truth," I said evenly. "You're humiliating me." "No, Sarah," I said, looking her dead in the eyes for the first time in weeks. "You did that to yourself. I'm just not covering for you anymore." Divorce papers came 2 weeks later. She didn't fight for much, maybe because deep down she knew she had already lost the war before it began. The house sold. We divided the furniture, the accounts. I kept the dog. She hadn't even asked about him, not once. I thought that would be the end of it. But then came the part one didn't expect. People started to pick sides. Friends who used to host us for dinners stopped inviting her. Her own mother called me and said, "I don't know what's gotten into her." And Sarah. She started posting cryptic little things online. Some people can't handle a free spirit. Being honest about your needs isn't betrayal. But it was. It was betrayal when honesty comes only after the lies. It's been 6 months since I moved out. Sometimes I still wake up and reach for her before I remember she isn't there. Other times I wake up and feel the space beside me and realize, can finally breathe. I'm not angry anymore. Not in that sharp, burning way I was at first. Now it's a quiet, deep ache like an old scar. Because here's the truth they don't tell you about betrayal. It doesn't just take away the person you loved. It takes away the version of you that believed in them without hesitation. She texted me last week. Just 3 words, "Can we talk?" I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I turned it face down, finished my coffee, and walked out the door. Because some doors, once closed, are meant to stay that way. Betrayal doesn't always explode in one violent moment. Sometimes it seeps in like a slow poison, and by the time you taste it, the damage is already done. What would you have done in Mark's place? Would you have stayed and tried to fix what was already broken? Or walked away like he did? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories that linger long after the last word.